After the operations of the primitive data structures, we are going to one more concept, that are types of non-primitive data structures. We have a classification, we have a types in non-primitive data structures. As I said, the definitions of the non-primitive data structure is these kinds of the data structures are derived from the primitive data structures. So we have categories, we have types in the non-primitive data structures. What are all that? See one by one. In the types of the non-primitive data structure, the first type is linear data structures. Linear data structures, and second one is non-linear data structures. So, as I said, the types of the non-primitive data structures, we have the two categories. One is linear data structure and second one is non-linear data structure. So, if I coming to the definitions of the linear data structure, these kinds of the data structures are arranged in homogeneous elements. Better I will write on the board the definition of the linear data structure. I will come to the first part, that are linear data structures. If I come into the definition of the linear data structure, see, collection of homogeneous elements. Homogeneous means the same type, same name, that is similar, and arranged in a linear order. Arranged in a linear order. Linear order means that should be it is in order, one after another. So this will be the definition of a linear data structure. Once again I will repeat. Linear data structures are the data structures, collections of the homogeneous elements arranged in a linear order. These are all the two keywords, collection of homogeneous elements and arranged in a linear order. Then for the linear data structures also we have some operations. What are all the operations of linear data structures? So let us see, for this they may ask for one more question, define linear data structure and also mention the operations of linear data structure for 5 marks. Like that the questions are divided. So in the next topic we are going to learn about some operations of linear data structure. So operations of the linear data structure. So if I come in one by one, the first operation is, that is traversal. Second one, insert. Remember the words. Second operation is insert. Third one, delete. Fourth one, search. Fifth one, sort, and sixth one, merge. So these are all the operations of a linear data structure. For your examination, so many times this question is repeated, that are mention the operations of linear data structure or write the operations of linear data structure. So if I come into the operations of linear data structure, these 5 to 6 operations we have. So if I come into one by one definitions or meaning of these operations, merge or insert, delete, what are all that definitions? So if I coming to the operations of the linear data structures and its meaning, see one by one, just I will write on the board. Traversal is an operation used to visit or access all elements at least once. Traversal operation is used to visit or access all the elements at least once. Means in the collections of the data elements, if it is 5 elements, for all 5 elements we have to reach once, or for all 5 elements we have to access once. That is the meaning of traversal. That's why traversal. We should reach at least once. So that is the meaning. Then insert operation is used to insert new element, to the data structure. So insert a new element. So this is the meaning of, that's why the very easiest operations, in the name itself the operations are there. Very easy to remember. To insert operation is used to insert a new element. Like that, delete operation is used to remove or delete. To remove unwanted element from the data structure. Like that, search means used to find the location of element. Find the location of the element. Like that, the last one, sort means arranging elements either in ascending or descending. Either in ascending or descending format. So these are all the operations of linear data structure. Once again I will repeat, and very easy to remember. Traversal is an operation used to visit or access minimum at all the elements at least once. Second one, insert is an operation used to insert a new element to the data structure. Like that, delete is an operation used to remove unwanted element. Then search find the location of the element, and also sort, arranging of the elements either in ascending or descending. So these are all the operations of linear data structure. So based on these operations, now we are going to learn some algorithms based on the operations of linear data structures. So in previous year, dear students, you learned what is algorithm and what is flowchart. Algorithm means it is a problem solving technique, solving of the problem by step, right? Solving a problem step by step, that is what we called as algorithm. The same method, the solving of the problem with the help of the symbolic representation or with the help of the diagrams, that is what we called as flowchart. Now, for these operations, we are going to learn about some algorithms based on these operations. After the operations of a linear data structure, before going to the algorithms, we are going to learn a linear data structure, that is arrays. So in the last year you learned what is array, what are all its types, and how to represent the one-dimensional arrays, how to represent two-dimensional. All these basic concepts you learned in the previous year. The same concept we are going to learn here also once again. For your reference, I will write the definitions of the arrays. So arrays are the linear data structures. Okay, arrays are collection of arrays or the collection of homogeneous elements with same name and same type. So this will be the definition of the array. Well, the meaning of this definition you already know. In the collections of arrays, almost all the elements are homogeneous. Homogeneous means that similar elements we are going to say. And these elements with the declaration with the same name and the type means that is a data type is also the same data type we are using to a declaration. So this is the definition of arrays. So as I said earlier, in previous year you learned this also. What are the types of arrays? So we have major three categories of the arrays. One is one-dimensional array. Second one, two-dimensional array. And the third one, multi-dimensional array. These three categories of the arrays are based on its subscripts we classified. So these kinds of the arrays are classified based on its number of subscripts. So if it is one subscript, that is one dimensional array. If it is a two subscripts, row size and column size, that is a two dimensional array. And if it is more than two subscripts, that is what we call as multi-dimensional array. So this is what we call as the categories or types of the arrays. We have major three types. And if I come into the one by one-dimensional array, what is its definition, how to declare the one-dimensional array, and what are its operations. So first type of the array, that is one-dimensional array. As I said earlier, based on its subscripts we classify the arrays. If an array having a single subscript, means single size, that types of the arrays are called as one-dimensional arrays. Then how to declare these one-dimensional arrays? What is its syntax? And how to declaration with one example if I want to explain means, just observe. So definition of the one-dimensional array you know. Now that is a syntax of one-dimensional array or syntax. Data type, array name, and that should be a single subscript of the size of the array. Remember, this will be the syntax of one-dimensional array. So, data type, array name and size. I will better explain with one example. Consider one data type, that is illustration. Okay, with one example. Data type, now I am considering that is integer. Is that one type of the data type? As I said in the last year, we have primitive data structures, int, float, and or basic data types, int, float, okay, double, log, all these character. So these are in that I will consider one data type int, and array name I will consider the array name as A, and the size of that particular array elements that are minimum 5. So this will be one syntax of one-dimensional array. Then how to initialize this example? If I want to initialize this example, just I will write how these 5 elements are accessible. So let us see one by one. For example, int a of 0, because arrays are always 0 based indexed numbers. That's why always its locations of these elements are started by 0. Array of 0, a of 0, that should be the 5 elements. What are the 5 elements? So in that I will consider a of 0 contains 10. Like that, int a of 1, that means 2, 20. Int a of 2, that is 30. Integer a of 3, that is 40. And int a of 4, that is 50. See, array of the 5 elements 0 to 4 are the 5 elements. 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50 are the number of the elements in one dimensional array. That should be like this. Int a of, what are the elements? 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. So that means in the size of the 5 elements, in the size of the array, these 5 elements are declared. So this is the what declarations and initializations of the one-dimensional array. Before going to the operations, algorithms, operations of the linear data structures, in arrays we have some advantages as well as some disadvantages also. So if I coming to the one by one, what are the advantages and disadvantages? Because for your examination they may ask like this also. Mention or write the 3 applications or advantages of the arrays, or write the disadvantages or limitations or drawbacks of the arrays. Like that they may ask any question. So for that, for the 3 marks, so remember we have a list of 3 advantages and 3 disadvantages also. So once again I will explain the advantages of arrays. In that first one, number of similar type of the elements can be stored under single name. Because in arrays, in a single name, similar type of the elements can be stored. So that will be one advantage. Then second one, 2-dimensional arrays are used to implement the matrix. 2-dimensional arrays are used to implement the matrix. In mathematics, we know the matrix, rows and columns. With the help of the 2-dimensional array, 2-dimensional array means we have the 2 subscripts, row size and column size. That types of arrays are used to implement the matrix. Second advantage. And third advantage or application, arrays are used to implement other data structures like stack and queue. In the next session we are going to learn about some other data structures also, that are queue, stack and all these things. In that time also we are using arrays to explain stack and queue. So that is also one advantage. That's why the advantage is arrays are used to implement other data structures like stack and queue. So these are all the 3 advantages or applications. Like that, we have some limitations also. We have some drawbacks also. We have some disadvantages also. Once again. So disadvantages of arrays. Arrays size must be pre-known. Before going to declaration, you must know its size. So this will be the disadvantages of the array, because sometimes we don't know how much elements we are going to declare. That time the arrays, declaration of arrays are very difficult, because unknowingly without knowing the size of the arrays, it's very difficult to initialize. That's why you must know the size of the elements, the size of the data structure, must be pre-known. That's one disadvantage. That's why array size must be pre-known. And second disadvantage is only similar type of the elements can be stored. Arrays by the name, definition, only telling. It will store only a similar type of the elements. Some situation, we are going to declare some of the different types or different name. So that time, these arrays will not support to declare. So that's why this is also one disadvantage of the array. And final disadvantage is, that is in arrays, shortage and wastage of the memory occurs. Of course, because in arrays we have to pre-know its size. Sometimes if I want to declare the 10 elements, when we are running the program, we don't need all 10 elements. We need a 6 elements. Then remaining the 4 elements must be, that is wastage of the memory. Like that, shortage will also occur. In some situation, we declared we need, with the help of the arrays, the 10 elements are need to declare. But when we are running the program, that 10 elements is replaced with the 15 elements. That time, the shortage will occur. That's why in arrays, both shortage and also as well as wastage of the memory will occur. So these are all some advantages and disadvantages of the arrays. Remember, for 3 or 5 marks question, this topic will be come for your examination.